Today we are going to learn Sumifs function, which will help you to sum up the numbers with more than one condition or criteria. This function is very helpful in your day-to-day work if you are working in an Excel. For example, doing billing process, preparing MIS reports, accounting, or automating the work in Excel, etc. So without wasting our time, we will start our session. So there are three variants of sum function. 1. Sum function. 2. Sumif function. 3. Sumifs function. Sum function will calculate only those cells which we have selected and contains numbers only. Wherein, Sumif function can calculate the numbers, taking the reference from different cell for condition or criteria. Whereas, Sumifs function can calculate the numbers, taking reference from multiple cells for conditions or criterias. So let us see the examples for each function, before you get confused. With these examples you will come to know how and when we should use the Sumifs function. So as you can see, we have a table, wherein column B contains name, column C contains date, and column D contains some numbers, which represents the hours. This table shows that, how many hours each employee spends working on a job, that they have been assigned to. And if you can see the date column, you will come to know that this table contains 2 days data, that is for July 1st and July 2nd. So let us see how sum function works. With the help of sum function, we will sum up the numbers, which is mentioned in column D, to get the total hours, which is spent by employee, which is mentioned in column B. To do so, we will type equals sign in cell D20. Following that, type sum, and then open bracket. Then you can see, the Excel will show the instructions to complete the formula. But we will just ignore the instructions, and we will select the cell range, which we want to calculate. To select require cell range, go to the first cell which is D5, by pressing up arrow. Now press and hold the shift key, and press down arrow till the cell D18. As you can see, the cell range which we have selected, are highlighted in light blue color, which means, the formula will calculate the numbers present in these cells. After selecting the cells, we will close the bracket, and will press enter. Now you can see the result as 33, which confirms that, in span of 2 days, people worked for 33 hours. In this case, sum function will only calculate the numbers present in the cells which we have selected. Using sum function, you cannot figure out each employee's working hours, or you can't figure the day-wise hours also. So here comes the Sumif function, where we can calculate the numbers, taking the reference from other cell for condition or criteria. Let us see the example of Sumif function. As you can see, we are using same table, to demonstrate the Sumif function. We have also created another table with the name of each employee. So let's suppose we want to know the total hours for John. To do so, we will type equals sign in cell G5. Following that, type Sumif, and then open bracket. Now we need to select the cell range where the all employees name is mentioned, that is column B. So we will select the cell range from B4 to B18, then select comma. Then we need to select the criteria. Criteria means, the value which we want to find in the cell range from B4 to B18, and basis on that, the hours will be shown as results for that criteria. So here we will select the John as criteria, because we want to know the total hours logged by John. So we will select cell F5, where John's name is mentioned. Then select comma. Now we need to select the cell range, where the all employees hours are mentioned, that is column D. So we will select the cell range from D4 to D18. After selecting the range, we will close the bracket, and will press enter. Now you can see the result as 11, which confirms that, in span of 2 days, John worked for 11 hours. You can also cross-check the hours logged by John, by filtering the data. Let us see, if the hours logged by John, are matching with our SumIf function's result. We will filter the data, and select the John from selection, and press enter. Now we can see hours only for John. And here we go, the SumIf function's result is matching with our data. Here we need to remember one point that, with SumIf function, we can calculate the numbers with only one condition or criteria. If you want to calculate the numbers with multiple condition or criteria, then you can go for SumIfs function. So here comes the SumIfs function, where we can calculate the numbers, taking reference from other cells with multiple conditions or criterias. Let us see the example of SumIfs function. So we will take the same table, to demonstrate the SumIfs function. We have also created another table with the name of each employee and the dates. So let's suppose, we want to know the total hours logged by Steve, on a particular date. First we will get the hours logged by Steve on July 1st. To do so, we will type, =, under July 1st column, that is in cell G7. Following that, type SumIfs, and then open bracket. Here the formula for SumIfs, is little different than SumIf. After open bracket, we need to select the range, where the all employees hours are mentioned, that is in column D. So we will select the cell range, from D4 to D18. After selecting the cell range, we will select comma. Then we need to select, our first criteria cell range, where the employee names are mentioned. That is in column B. For that, we will select B4 to B18. Then select comma. Now we need to select, our first criteria, as Steve. For that we will select cell F7. Then select comma. Then we need to select our second criteria range, which contains dates. So that, we can find how much hours logged by Steve, on July 1st. For that, we will select the second criteria cell range, as C4 to C18, which contains the work dates. Then select comma. Now we have to select our second criteria, as July 1st. For that we will select cell G4. After selecting the second criteria, we will close the bracket, and will press enter. Now you can see the result as 7, which confirms that, on July 1st, Steve worked for 7 hours. Now, if you want to know the hours logged by Steve, on July 2nd, you can just copy-paste the formula in July 2nd column. That is in cell H7. Before copying the formula, we need to freeze, or you can say, lock the cell ranges present in the formula. To do so, we will edit the formula, by clicking F2 key. Or you can just double-click, on the cell G7. After clicking F2 key, the full formula will be visible. Then we will put the dollar symbol, before and after D, to freeze range D4 to D18. We have to do the same process, for range B4 to B18, and C4 to C18. We should also freeze the cell F7, where the Steve's name is mentioned. Then press enter. Now you can copy the cell G7, and paste it to cell H7. Now you can see the result as 6, which confirms that, on July 2nd, Steve worked for 6 hours. So now we will cross-check the hours logged by Steve, on 1st and July 2nd. For that, we will filter the data, by Steve's name, and match the hours logged by Steve on 1st and July 2nd. Congrats! We have successfully matched the hours logged by Steve, on 1st and July 2nd, with the data. That's all from my side. Hope you liked the video. You can try it, and let me know in comment section, if you have any query. Thanks for watching. You can subscribe my channel, for more exciting videos.